Hello guys, we are digital nomads and this is our first video together and my name is Elvis and her name is.
Linda, and what are we doing today?
We will talk about Airbnb tips for digital nomads and we will go from basic tips to more advanced tips to help you to save money and always choose the best accommodations possible on Airbnb.
All the time, I think people think that as digital nomads, we spend a lot of money and we're basically living like a five-star hotel life all this time and spending the money accordingly to this. But actually, our cost of living is very low because we really do deep research before renting an accommodation in a new place, and we actually have a whole checklist of points that our accommodation has to have. Like, for example, it has to have a lot of light. Like, that's one really important point for us because several times we rented rooms that were extremely dark and then we just feel unproductive. Like, you need to know what you need to feel productive.
Yeah, we call it dark holes. So we really don't like Airbnbs that are very dark. They make us depressive. We don't like to stay inside. So we stay inside a lot to work and it's very complicated for us. And when it has a lot of light, it makes much nicer our stay.
Like, we never regretted the accommodations we rented. Just, I think it was just one time that we rented one in Bali that was really extremely cheap, and we left because it was a dark hole and because it was raining inside.
Yeah, not always like very cheap is a good decision. Like and even sometimes like reviews they say, oh, it's very nice accommodation, but sometimes the reviews don't tell the whole story.
And like, you should pay attention to every detail of the reviews, and this is also in our checklist. For example, does any review say that it's noisy or that it's cold? Like right now, for example, we actually have one that we didn't like so much because it's very cold inside. Like, this are like
Yeah.
everything that's important for you, make a list and
Yeah.
check everything possible.
Actually, the Airbnb we are right now in Vinha del Mar, Chile, is this situation. The pictures are very nice. The accommodation is very beautiful. You can see in the videos I recorded, but the accommodation is very cold inside. Outside, it's sunny. It's nice. It's March right now, so it's mild weather in Vinha del Mar. But when we go inside the accommodation, it's very cold. That's why we are wearing sweaters, but outside there are people walking with t-shirts, so this is pretty bad for us. We don't like this.
Yeah, and this is things that we didn't expect and we couldn't really know this before. But normally also the hosts on Airbnb are very collaborative because they don't want to get bad reviews. They're terrified of getting bad reviews, and normally also we only write good reviews because we choose really nice places normally. And then if there's anything you're not satisfied with and you want to like shorten your stay or change your location because there's something you don't like, they're normally very fast in responding and also very polite in trying to give you solutions because they are terrified of bad reviews. And so I think this is a huge benefit of Airbnb. You really have a lot of security as a client.
And it's also important to know that in the first 72 hours, which is 3 days, right? So you can text Airbnb support and tell them that something is not working or the accommodation doesn't match with the pictures or the listing or something is missing, and they will help you. So we already had situations once we were in Pattaya, Bali, and we wanted to move. Pattaya, Thailand, because we wanted to move because when we entered inside, the condo said they had a gym, they had a swimming pool, but they had no gym, and it was a very weird condo. The accommodation inside was smelling a lot of cigarettes, so it was very uncomfortable for us. And in the first day, we texted the Airbnb support. They forced the host to give us refund, and we moved fast to another accommodation. So Airbnb, it's also insurance for us.
Mm-hmm.
We pay a little bit more instead of booking directly. But if something happens, Airbnb will help you. So if you don't have Airbnb and you book directly, you are all by your own. And if you have a problem, you need to fight with the owner. Many times it's very hard. You will not get anything.
You have no insurance.
Yeah, you not recover your money. So it's very complicated.
And then something that's used from Airbnb also is that already at the moment of booking you can filter for everything that you want. So for example, in this accommodation in Thailand that we didn't like, the moment we walked in we didn't like it, then we were like, oh no, we need to book a new accommodation. But thanks to our criteria that are like extremely defined, we know what we're looking for always, and also on a low budget. So first we define the price on Airbnb, then we choose, it has to have, in our case, a kitchen, it has to have a washing machine, it has to have Wi-Fi, what else said in?
A dedicated desk, dedicated workspace whenever they have. Ideally.
Something we also do before, or no, actually after going on Airbnb and filtering our options by price, like so that we see what is the maximum price we're willing to pay, all of the accommodations pop up. And then in the different cities we don't know the areas, right? So we have a website, I don't remember, I think it's called Maps, City Maps or something. We can link it.
Yeah, we can link it, we can put in the here, and then you can check it out.
And then on this website you can see like a map of the whole city, and you can see where are like very, let's say, bad areas in the sense of safety, where is like a lot of maybe criminality, and where are the areas that are more upper class or artistic or alternative. Like it gives this different description of the areas, and then you can choose according to your preferences. And this has saved us many times to not end up like in a, let's say, sketchy area.
Yeah, or like a very dangerous area. And many times it's also important to check on Airbnb, every listing has a location. And then in our case, it's very important to be close to a gym and a good supermarket, because this makes our life a lot easier. It's like I lose few hours of work if we need to go 1 hour by bus or by train to the gym, and then 1 hour at the gym, and then 1 hour back to the accommodation. So it's like already the whole morning that I don't work, and this makes me very stressful, because if I cannot work, I cannot make money, I cannot live this lifestyle. So it's very complicated.
So we noticed location is everything, but also a good apartment is everything, because if we have a shitty apartment in an amazing location, we're depressed. And if we have an amazing apartment in a shitty location, like let's say it's a bit better, but it's still annoying, because a shitty location, I mean like supermarket is very far, we have no gym close, which are like our main reasons why we need to go out.
When she says shitty location, she is forcing a little bit, but it's more like...
No, it's more about distance.
Yeah, it's a place like far from everything, you take very long to go anywhere, or it doesn't have a good supermarket or a good gym. You know, it's not about aesthetic, it's not about the neighborhood, it's more about convenience.
Can I say something about this? Like, when you know around where is your Airbnb, then you can also check it out on Google Maps. You can try to find the approximate location and check out the street on Google Street View. So this also several times we didn't buy or we didn't reserve an accommodation because the street looked sketchy, and then we were like, no, we don't want this.
Yeah, and when she says sketchy, it's like you think about it's maybe some dangerous place.
Criminality.
Yeah, for example, here we are traveling through South America. South America, it's famous for not being safe, and which is different when you are traveling to Southeast Asia. You don't need to think so much about safety. It's way more comfortable, way more easy. But here in South America, it's very important to check these kind of things.
Also, one point, you need to be flexible as a digital nomad, and you need to be adaptable. And actually, I think this is something you learn while traveling, because like in our case, we're not like hippie, we're not like extreme, I don't know, super rich travelers,
Yeah.
but we are like trying to maintain a good lifestyle for us. I forgot
We are middle class digital nomads. We are not ultra luxury. We are not like seven figures, eight figures, entrepreneurs, blah blah blah.
we
And
are
we are so,
entrepreneurs.
but we are not seven
We're not
figures or
super
eight
rich. No, we're not
figures.
super rich.
And
We're normal. We're
yeah,
like
we are normal. And at the same time, we are not backpackers. So another
and
tip.
yet people think all the time we are in 5-star resorts, which is just something in their mind. Like you don't need to have crazy amounts of money to live this lifestyle, but you need to have obviously a remote job.
Yeah, you can live a digital nomad as a digital nomad with less money than you think. So to make this happen, one thing is very important. One tip for Airbnb is, if you're a digital nomad, you can stay anywhere as much as you want. So try to book on Airbnb always more than 1 month. More than 1 month will give you a huge discount on Airbnb
Yeah,
because
that's
you
the
pay
main point.
because you pay monthly
That
prices.
should have been the first point.
You pay monthly prices, and paying monthly prices, the prices go down a lot. For example, one accommodation per night is 50 euros, which is like in 1 month you spend 1,500 euros. But sometimes the same accommodation in 1 month is 750, 800 euros, and with all included electricity, water, Wi-Fi. When you book directly with an owner, you don't have everything included. When you have Airbnb, you have everything included,
Huge
plus
point.
their support, which is an insurance. So
Yeah.
this is very nice,
Big
very
plus.
important.
Yeah.
Don't try to travel so fast. Traveling fast will increase your costs, especially with accommodation. If you travel month after month, like one for each place, each city you want to stay at least 1 month. This will lower our cost a lot.
This is something that we see many nomads that we meet on our trips do differently than us. They travel extremely fast, and in the beginning, no, we never traveled extremely fast. Like for us was like 1 month at a place, but now we're like, even 1 month feels very fast for us, and we prefer like, even I think we would prefer 2 to 3 months in one place if we find a good place, because this is the only sustainable way for us to do this lifestyle. If you rush all the time, just your money goes away and you're all the time stressed. We could not work well like this, and it would just not be sustainable at all.
Yeah, try to, if you find a cheap and good accommodation, try to stay as much as you can. And from that point, make like your home base. And then if you want to explore areas around that city, you go like for 1 day, you go for one night, but you stay in your accommodation that will cost you 20 euros per night, 25 euros per night, because you're paying a monthly price and you're having a very good accommodation. Another tip I would give to you, like for us, we are a couple, but if you're single, it's a bit different. So for us as a couple, we both work online, and I receive a lot of calls, and sometimes I do video calls, but she does way more than me because she has her clients and she needs to do Zoom calls. It's very important for us to have different rooms. So we always try to book 1 bedroom apartment. So we have 1 bedroom and we have the living room. And then whenever someone is having a call, you can go to another room, close the door, be calm, and doesn't stress the other person. It's way more easy. But if you are alone, if you are single, you don't need to spend money booking a 1 bedroom apartment. You can try to always book a studio, and you always find a lot of options. In Thailand, for example, everybody knows is full of studios, very good ones in condos with gym and swimming pool, things that you not find easily in another country. Is very, very hard. Here in Chile, for example, this doesn't exist, and when it exists, it's a lot of money.
Expensive.
It's very ultra luxury. It's very expensive. Another extra tip I would say is like, check the pictures and check if you feel good in that place, because for example, for me it's very important, the decoration, and sometimes I don't like the decoration. I don't like this kind of colorful blankets and colorful couches. For me it's ugly and I don't like it, I don't feel comfortable, so I try to book something that looks more minimalist, more modern.
Sometimes also they just put the cheapest furniture and decoration ever, and you can immediately see it on the photos. So it's really worth it to search well, find a good location, find an apartment that has a lot of light, that looks nicely done, because this will be your home for
Yeah.
a while.
Sometimes they say, we have a dedicated desk, but then you check, it's like a $10 table with a $5 chair, so it's like it's uncomfortable. You don't want to stay there. It's a dedicated desk, it's a dedicated workspace, but it's just to charge you more, and it doesn't do the job because it's awful to sit there and work.
Because in our case, for example, one way we save money is we don't go all the time to co-working spaces or cafes, which is a preference thing, I would say. But like in our case, we're not able to work as productively in other places than at home, where we have
Yeah.
no distractions.
Yeah, because for example, if you go to Starbucks, we like to go to Starbucks sometimes when it's not possible to book an accommodation that is good. We book something more simple, and then we go to Starbucks to work sometimes. But Starbucks is expensive, the food everybody knows, and the places are nice, but it's loud, there's a lot of people, and it's not easy if you want to have a call or a Zoom call. So one thing I also do when I check the pictures of the accommodation on Airbnb is how many places I have inside that I can sit and work, because I like to move around. So for example, I can work from the bed, I can work from the table, the dining table, I can work sitting on the couch, and I can work on a dedicated desk. I'm already counting 4 places I can sit and work. And sometimes they even have a balcony, and you have a table with a chair. It's also a nice place to work. You have fresh air. And sometimes if you are in a place like I said, Thailand, you have even more places, because then even if you book a studio, you can go outside, and then you have places, areas around the swimming pool and everything that you can easily sit and work. So for me, it's a plus. If I see an accommodation that I can see many places that I can sit and work, it's very nice. For me, it makes a big difference.
I think in the end it's all about figuring out your preferences, and this you will do by traveling, so don't be disappointed, because like also for us, one of our first apartments was a total flop, but then we started to be way more critical at the moment of booking. And for example, when it says Wi-Fi problems in some of the reviews, for us is out immediately. If it says noise, is out immediately. If it says it's very dark or anything, for us it's out immediately.
Yeah, bad smell, etc., etc. So it's very important to check these kind of things.
Have a list,
And
know what you want.
yeah, you have to have a checklist that my accommodation has to have 1 bedroom, my accommodation needs to have light, my accommodation needs to be close to a gym, close to a supermarket. You need to make a list, and fast Wi-Fi, etc., etc. You make a list, and you need to book only what checks everything, you know.
If you guys want, we can share our checklist, then you can leave us a comment and we can make another video about it.
Yeah, so one more thing is, sometimes you want so badly to go to a place, you want so badly to go to a city, and you go on Airbnb and there's nothing available, or the options are bad. In our case, many places we want to visit, we didn't visit yet because we don't find accommodations on Airbnb. In this case, then you can try other platforms. You can try other platforms or try to book directly, or sometimes just stay a few nights, because
But also, like, we didn't find the accommodation because we're not willing to pay the price for it. I
Yeah.
think it's about that, right? Not that there are no accommodations, there are accommodations everywhere, but sometimes it's our price point that we're not willing to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the price is under our budget, listings are under our budget.
Over our budget.
Over our budget or full. There are many options, but under our budget there's nothing. So for me, it's a place that is forbidden. Maybe in the future when we get rich, then we go there, but for now we are just middle class digital
But
nomads.
stable, like we're doing it for 4 years. I think we didn't say this now. We're doing it for 4 years. We're not getting tired of it, and we want to keep living like this because we found this way sustainable for us to maintain it in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. It's also key that we never spend more than we earn. So if you want to make this lifestyle sustainable, you need to think about it. I'll spend all my savings, and then when I don't have savings anymore, I'm going back to my bedroom at my parents. No, 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 no. If you want to be a digital nomad, if you want to do this long term, you need to be cautious and you need to
Maybe
be
not do
careful.
all of the trips that are possible to be done in that one city that you want to go, but like really take care of
Yeah,
your finances and don't eat out all the time if you want to save money. Like then you need to see what is your budget, what are your possibilities.
yeah, exactly. So these are the main tips I would say
I think we
for.
have many more. Like we just started, but I think this was a pretty good start.
Yeah, so if you liked our video and if you think this is useful for you, leave in the comments and we will be happy to reply all of them. Thank guys.
Thank you guys. See you next time.
See you.